In this recording, I'd like to show you how to use the AI assistant embedded within iALM.ai to estimate story points for a user story. We have this user story here. As a ticket counter agent, I want to be able to add a frequent flyer number to a reservation. As you can see, this user story does not have any description, does not have acceptance criteria, and it does not have any scenarios. Let me now go to the AI assistant here and ask it to estimate story points. The response comes back. It wouldn't make sense to calculate story points based on this brief user story. You need to provide some details, at least a description. Make sense? So let's provide some description here. Let me save and go back here to estimate story points. Now the response. I can provide story point estimate, though it will not be accurate, but if you let me generate some scenarios and/or acceptance criteria, just to get some details about the user story, I can give you more accurate estimate. Generating scenarios and generating acceptance criteria using AI is handled in other recordings, so I will leave those for now. I will just select this option, Estimate Story Point. As you can see, the AI assistant took the user story with the simple description we provided and broke it down into a number of tasks and subtasks. In addition, it lists the assumptions based on which it estimated those tasks. Now, if you look at those tasks here, none of them is selected, and that is why the story point estimate at the top here is still 0. It also says here, for the AI assistant to calculate story points, select the task you believe must be performed for this user story. So this is really up to the developer or the Agile team to decide. As you can see, the number of story points is listed next to each task. So I'm just going to select all of them. Now let's say calculate story points. We can see now it calculated 8 story points. Also, it says tasks attached to the user story. What does it mean? The AI assistant created those tasks and attached them to the user story. Let's now look at those tasks created by the AI assistant. Close this. Now, if you go back to the user story here, you can see the story point estimate have been updated. If you scroll down, here are the tasks associated with this user story. We have 7 tasks here. If I click here, I can see the list of all 7 tasks, and it shows they were created by the AI assistant. If I open any task, I see all task details such as task name, story points for task, total estimated hours, total actual hours, and so on. It also tells me this is a user story level task as opposed to a project level task. Working with tasks as they relate to project management is covered under a different recording. It also gives the creation date and the last modified date, and so on. The color is just used when you create reports or when you look at data sheets. Every task appears in different color. You can also attach a document to the task if you think you have anything to add more details to the task, and so on. Let's go back to the user story. Keep in mind, you can always come back and change your mind about things. You can go back here and exclude some of those tasks and recalculate story points accordingly. Something very important to notice about story point estimate in iALM.ai. You cannot go back here and change this value manually. Story points are always calculated based on tasks. No guesswork anymore. You break down the user story to tasks and assign story points to each task, and those will be used to calculate the story points for the user story. Even if you don't like any of the tasks created by the AI assistant, you can create your own tasks. You can go here and click New Task and assign story points for the task. This is how story points are calculated in iALM.ai using AI.
We invite you to experience the full power of iALM.ai in your projects. The Ultimate package, including every platform component, is available free for 1 year for teams of up to 10 members. Complimentary online technical support is included. Visit iALM.ai to get started.